And welcome back once again as we have yet another inductee into the class of 2020 Bucknell Athletics Hall of Fame. Joining us here, we are so pleased to have from the class of 2007, Christa Sawko from the track and field team. Christa, congratulations. What a tremendous honor.
Thank you.
You're a Montoursville native, so, you're just up the road. Was that one of the reasons why you chose to go to Bucknell, when you did?
Yes, my cross-country coach told me to drive up the road and come to a sprinting seminar when I was in high school and meet the coaches here, and everything just went on from there.
And when you came to Bucknell, was it, even though you were close to home, was it a big change? I mean, a little bit bigger than some of the high schools up in that neck of the woods.
Yeah, I mean, I came from a really small town. So when I came here, obviously it's equally a small town, but I met a lot of people that brought in my perspective on the world and just taught me so much about life, and people coming from a lot of different places. So it was a really healthy way to broaden my perspective.
When you take a look at being on the track and field team here, what was it that, why did you choose track and field way back when you started it, maybe in high school or even before that?
So I always my dad was a track star, and I always wanted to be like my dad. And so ever since I was like 7, I was just always running around the yard, pretending I was in the Olympics and stuff. So it was never a question that I wanted to be a runner. Yeah. So
when you decided to come to Bucknell, who was it that kind of helped you? Was it Coach Donner? Was it who on the staff kind of helped to draw you here and give you an idea that you felt like this would be the place to be?
Well, when I was in high school, I was actually a hurdler. So it was Coach Klim was my first coach, and he helped me through the application process, and he helped me connect me with getting a talent grant so that I could afford to go here. And so he played a really key role in helping me get here.
And of course, you were great in the sprints, the 800s, the 1000s, the relays and so forth. Was there any particular event that you really enjoyed participating in, Christa?
The 800 was really what I was obsessed with. So that was kind of my key event. Yeah.
What does it take to be a good runner in the 800? I mean, obviously speed, but were there some tricks of the trade that you kind of applied when you did it?
I just ran as fast as I could the whole way, and I tried my hardest not to zone out my third 200. I always struggled in the third 200 because I was always like, I got content there, and I was thinking about the end, but so that was my weakest point that I always tried to work on was that portion.
Obviously, it's not as quick as a 50 or whatever, but 800, that means you had a lot of time to even think because of that distance.
Yeah. So it's short enough that you can stay focused the whole time, but you have to remember to keep sprinting the whole time.
You were so successful in the Patriot League, and obviously Army and Navy had some great competition, but there were some other schools in the league at that time that were also very difficult. Did you have anybody in particular that you felt like, hey, if I beat that person, I'm going to do pretty well today?
I remember there was a few girls at Cornell that were really good. I remember one of them actually ended up going to the Olympics. But I don't remember their names, unfortunately, but yeah. But I always, and I remember my teammate Phoebe Hansen Hall, her older sister Nana Hansen Hall was the person I always tried to chase as well.
Now, of course, we mentioned you were not only an individual runner, as you would expect with track and field, but you were on the 4x8s and relay teams. What was it like? Did you enjoy being on relay teams?
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah, it was. I was really motivated because you're there's other people depending on you. So I think I may have ran some of my fastest times and on the relays, and it was great to be part of a team.
What are you doing now for those folks that may not know? Are you still in this area, or have you moved away from Pennsylvania?
I live in D.C. I've lived there since 2010.
What are you doing for those folks who haven't kept up with you, Christa? Are you working professionally, obviously, in the D.C. area?
Yes, I work at the State Department.
Okay.
Yep.
Do you like that? And how do you use both what you learned here at Bucknell academically, but also with the track and field work that you did? How do you use that in your daily life? Do you still use it?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, when I was there were some habits that I developed in college, like 2 nights before the meet, you make sure you get a lot of rest. And I've always kept a really good sleeping habits, and it's helped me from never burning out in my professional career. And working on a team, you need to do that to work in a professional environment as well. And also just hard work and just keep, I think those are the 3 big things.
Before we let you go here, track. You mentioned about how your dad kind of got you involved and how he was involved in track. What is it about the mindset of someone who is involved in track and field? Because it's something that can go on forever. Are you still involved in running in any capacity?
I don't participate in races anymore, but I do go running, several days a week, and it's always been a key part of my life. Yeah.
So running is something that can kind of help you, even if you're, 5, 10, 15 years graduated from college, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's good for your mental health and your physical health as well, obviously. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, Christa, congratulations. Great, great honor here today. Well deserved, too, being inducted into the Athletics Hall of Fame.
Thank you.
Christa Sawko from the class of 2007, our next inductee from the class of 2020 in the Bucknell Athletics Hall of Fame.